you're sitting at the top of the track and you know that the harder you go during this race run, like the worse you're gonna feel. So it's like literally you're gonna go and hurt yourself, you know? Like you're like, okay, if I push it really hard, then I'm gonna be sick for 2 weeks. And like, how do you kind of mentally come to terms with that? And even as hard as I would try, I think that was like still in the back of my head, like where you would sprint like a sprint and I would be like, okay, like maybe take it easy here or whatever. I mean, obviously I was trying as hard as I could, but like just one of those mental things that like you had to work through. I wasn't planning on racing again ever.
The funny thing about Eliot is that he came from motocross primarily and didn't really ride BMX all that much at the time, but when he jumped on a bike, it was like an instantaneous, natural thing for him.
And I would hear stories about how he's keeping up with the local pros. I'm like, man, these guys have been doing it forever and you're already keeping up with these guys. And so once I heard about that, I would just joke with him. I'm like, man, just take it serious. Try it for a little bit and see where it goes.
When I moved to LA, obviously there's street everywhere, so I started riding street and then kind of got picked up from there. And then Eliot, I think that's when he got more into mountain bikes and started riding with his mountain bike friends. Since there's no dirt to ride anymore, that was, I guess, the next step.
I don't necessarily think that there's like a ton of benefit to training on a motorcycle for mountain bikes, but I think you can transfer those skills. Like it helped me so much that I rode motocross and rode dirt jumps. And so downhill is kind of right in between both of those.
Eliot's skill set's really versatile, and just seeing what we've seen already with his tinkering around with data and computer sciences with World Cup results and kind of some of the things behind the scenes in the industry, I think he can have a long career even aside from racing, whether it's on the brand level or helping out with the team when it comes to testing. So he's got plenty of options ahead of him when he decides that he's done racing at a World Cup level. I think he'd have no problem prolonging his career in the bike industry into different ways in the future.
I don't really have like a set big goal that I want to do. I'm just really enjoying life and like this lifestyle that I'm able to live right now. Like if somebody said, like, what is your ideal year? And that's what I'm trying to do, And I think it's a cool experiment because not a lot of people ever get that opportunity. And so for me, I love connecting with people and I love like going and trying to fill that gap between, we see all these World Cup racers and they're kind of like untouchable, like we don't really know so much about them. And as a fan, like growing up, I would have given anything to every bit of little content that I could see from my favorite riders, like I just loved. And so I think bringing that sort of thing to people is something that I really enjoy. But I think that's kind of the goal, is just to do what I enjoy and keep hopefully like providing value to people who want to see more connection, I guess, and like more of just like normalness.